according to Huffington Post 2013, in 2012, women were only paid 77 cents to every dollar men made. Or that according to CNN 2013, 1 in 3 women will experience sexual or physical violence at some point in their lifetime. We firmly believe that everyone should support feminism. Feminists face many problems, including gender equality and sexual harassment. There are many solutions to these advantages and problems. Feminism today deals mainly with the equality of all genders and is important for our generation to be aware of and support.
One problem feminists are trying to fix is equality in the workplace. Kalos 2013 states that as of 2012, women made up only 14.3% of the executive officers in the Fortune 500 list, barely making any progress from 2009 when their involvement in these positions was at 13.5%. Even worse, out of these low percentages, only 5.1% were African American women, 4.2% were Latina women, and just 3% were Asian women. According to the WCF Foundation 2013, female involvement in political offices is also relatively low, with women holding only 17% of the seats in Congress, 22% of the statewide elective office positions, and 24% of state legislature positions. Women of color are represented even worse, making up only 4% of Congress. The women who do try to run for these offices are also frequently discouraged to do so. About 1/3 of these women have said that someone tried to discourage them from running, most often an office holder or political party official. Both male and female voters are also much more judgmental about the appearance of a female candidate than of a male one. Although all candidates are judged by their appearance to some degree, women have more of a challenge convincing voters to judge them on their merits rather than on their physical appearance. All this came into play during the 2008 presidential election when Hillary Clinton ran for the Democratic nomination. Take Part 2012 states that Clinton was victimized by the media for things like the way she wore her hair or the outfits she wore to a debate. Many people didn't even focus on the politics or the message she was trying to get across. They were too focused on her physical appearance and the fact that she's a woman to care. CNN 2013 reports that the number of women in the military is also low, with females making up just 14.5% of the active duty force and holding only 7.1% of the top ranks. The women who are enlisted make up a small 2.7% of the military's frontline units. Women have also been banned from the infantry, a branch of military that fights on foot.
All of this leads to the gender pay gap. According to the AAUW 2013, since 2002, women have made no progress with pay equality, earning on average just 77% of what their male counterparts make. Shockingly, some women are even paid less. In Wyoming, for instance, women on average are paid just 64% of what their male counterparts make. Women also face this pay gap in almost every occupation, including female-dominant occupations, like teaching and nursing. While higher education can be an effective tool for increasing earnings, it is not always successful against the gender pay gap. At every level of academic achievement, women have made earnings less than men.
Another problem feminists want to address is gender roles. Libby Ann 2011 writes that it's often suggested that women gravitate towards more things like raising children and cleaning, while men gravitate towards more physical activities like construction or yard work. Thinking like this generally leads to the idea that women are supposed to stay at home and raise children because that's what they are best suited for, while men should join the workforce and earn the family's money. Despite this mindset, many people do not fit these gender roles. Oftentimes, the men in the families enjoy doing housework and cooking, while their wives enjoy doing yard work. Some people, though, will argue that gender roles are natural. History tells us differently. For example, ancient Native American societies were ruled by women, not men, and during the colonial period, women were just as involved in the marketplace as men. The men were even assigned the responsibility of raising the children. The idea that women must stay at home while men join the workforce was literally invented in Europe in the 1800s. The gender roles so many consider natural are in fact socially constructed.
These gender roles can also often make people believe in false stereotypes. Campbell University 2013 reports that a Gallup poll on gender traits showed that many people think the traits of females include being passive, quiet, submissive, emotional, and illogical, while males are seen as aggressive, competitive, strong, courageous, logical, and rational. The poll also suggested that children begin to embrace these typical stereotypes as early as ages 4 to 5. The media ends up making this problem even worse. According to ETFO 2013, research shows that there are fewer females than males in almost all forms of media, and those who do appear are often portrayed in stereotypical ways. everything from advertising, TV, newspaper, and magazines to comic books, music, film, and video games, females are more likely to be shown performing domestic chores as objects who exist primarily for men, or as victims who can't protect themselves. Libby Ann 2011 states that feminists believe in eliminating these gender roles completely, or in other words, they want a society where people are allowed to be individuals rather than being forced into a prescribed role, no matter what their gender is.
Another huge problem feminists are trying to fix is the staggering amount of sexual assault and harassment in America. According to RAINN 2009, every 2 minutes someone in the U.S. is sexually assaulted, and 9 out of 10 of these victims are female. Of all these sexual assaults, only 60% are ever reported to the police, and even more shockingly, 97% of the reported harassers will never even spend a day in jail. Victims of sexual assault are also 3 times more likely to suffer from depression, 26 times more likely to abuse drugs, and 4 times more likely to contemplate suicide.
Even worse, it's not uncommon for men to joke about sexual assault and rape. According to the Huffington Post 2012, while at a comedy club, popular comedian Daniel Tosh began making jokes about rape. When a girl in the audience yelled out that rape jokes weren't funny, Tosh's response was to tell the audience, "Wouldn't it be funny if that girl got raped by like 5 guys right now? What if a bunch of guys just raped her?" These types of jokes are not only common with comedians, but can also be heard in our school almost every day.
Feminists are also speaking out of another form of harassment called catcalling. Groupthink 2013 states that catcalling is when a male makes a sexual comment or whistles at a woman he doesn't know. Although some people think this as a compliment, Minnesota Daily 2013 reports that catcalling is not a form of flattery. It's derogatory and it is harassment. Harassment also happens frequently in the workplace. According to workharassment.net 2013, in 2011, 11,364 people filed charges for sexual assault in the workplace. 84% of these reported cases were filed by women, and 100% of these women say their harasser was a man. They also point out, though, that many cases of sexual harassment go unreported. It is estimated that 15% of these cases actually get reported.
Another problem that comes from all this harassment is victim blaming. Huffington Post 2013 reports that 1 in 12 people believe that rape victims are to blame if they are drunk, on drugs, flirtatious with their attacker. According to This Is Not an Invitation to Rape Me campaign 2013, the way women dress is often cited as a reason why men rape. References to tight fabrics, low jeans and tops, short skirts, and heavily applied makeup are all common occurrences in rape trials. The assumption that these things lead to rape is ridiculous. Instead of the alleged attacker, it is the woman who is held up for examination. An even worse example of victim blaming is the story of Daisy Coleman. Think Progress 2013 states that Daisy, only 14 at the time, was raped by a high school football player and then discarded on her front lawn on a freezing January night. Despite substantial evidence and a cell phone video of the incident, the charges against the boy were dropped. After the verdict, Daisy and her family were the victims of even more harassment from their town. She wrote that the nightmare didn't end with her sexual assault. After the rape, she was bullied by her peers and called her a liar and told her she was a skank who was asking for it. She was also kicked off her high school cheerleading team because of her involvement in the incident. Her even took to social media telling her to kill herself, which led her to attempt suicide twice.
Since these problems are deep-seated in our society, it is difficult for feminists to come up with solutions that are accepted. The problems will not go away overnight, but there are small adjustments that can be made to begin the progress of change. According to the EEOC 2013, the law forbids discrimination when it comes to any aspect of employment, including hiring, firing, pay, job assignment, promotions, layoff, training, fringe benefits, and any other term or condition of employment. The first step in having a job is the application process. All applications want your first name, middle initial, and surname. The only problem with putting a first name on an application could be having a feminine-sounding name. On July 15, 2013, the Huffington Post came out with a story about a man who discovered gender discrimination while applying for jobs. Despite his impressive resume and relevant work experience, he was not offered a single interview until he changed his gender. Only after editing his CV to have it say Mr. in front of his name did he get an interview. An answer to this problem could be to make the first name slot off applications and only require a first initial and last name.
The Washington Examiner 2013 explains what the interagency policy is and how it will affect women. They said, with the new financial regulation law, the federal government is moving from outlawing discrimination to setting up a system of quotas. Ultimately, the only way to comply with the law is by showing that a certain percentage of a company's workforce is female or minority. Having a quota on how many females or minorities should be hired in a workplace is wrong. The people should be hired because of their credentials and work ethic, not because the company needs another woman or minority to meet the assigned quota.
How do we fix the age-long fight of men getting paid more than women? U.S. News RSS 2012 reports not only what the government has been doing to come up with solutions, but how women can actively do something about their salary. President Obama has been trying to get Congress to pass the Paycheck Fairness Act. If passed, the act will help those discriminated against fight back. Obama has also declared April 20th to be National Equal Pay Day to raise awareness of the act. Women can actively proceed by comparing their salaries to a male who has similar roles, taking out differences such as experience level. Then they can talk to a superior about a salary change.
Gender roles are a form of segregation, splitting males and females up into different categories. The solution to this is easy, but it has to come from the younger generation. Children have been taught from an adolescent age what is girly and what is boyish. The Huffington Post 2013 explained that these stereotypes start out with toys like Barbies and toy cars, but the concept of gender roles will follow them throughout their lives. When it becomes time for them to get a job, it will be strange for them to see a woman who wants to become a mechanic or a man who wants to become a hairstylist. To fix this, at a young age, parents should give their kids, both boys and girls, toys no matter what their gender.
Stopping rape is more than just changing laws and court system punishments. It's about changing the mindset of the people. Nate Pyle, 2013, has the right mindset. He wants to teach his son right and show him how to respect women. He's quoted as saying, "It's a woman's responsibility to dress herself in the morning. It's your responsibility to look at her like a human being regardless of what she is wearing." Women have been told to wear things that are not provocative so there will be a less likely chance of them getting raped. It has not been effective. We need to teach people who commit these crimes what they should already have, the common sense that raping is wrong. This mindset should be taught to them early on and follow them throughout the rest of their lives. When rape does unfortunately happen, there are services that victims can go to get help, though most victims are already traumatized for life. RAIN 2009 states that some victims take drastic actions, like drugs, drinking, and suicide. Help for these victims would include support from family and friends and therapy.
Rape jokes such as Daniel Tosh's hit the media fast and always have two sides to them. One side sees how horrible these jokes are, while the other responds with, "Take a joke." An uncomplicated solution to get rid of these unnecessary jokes is to simply just stop saying them. If someone around you says a rape joke, never feel obligated to laugh, and always tell them that rape jokes aren't funny. With 1 in 3 women being the victims of sexual abuse, it is extremely likely that someone overhearing you could be one of these victims.
Embracing these changes has advantages for all genders. First off, women would be able to better support themselves. If women achieve equal pay, people like single moms and female college students would be able to support themselves financially without the help of someone else, or acquiring a load of debt.
Women would also be able to better contribute to society. If employers employed more qualified women to higher-ranking positions, females could contribute more to male-dominated fields like business and technology, possibly making the world a better and smarter place to live in.
With feminism, women would also feel safer. There would be no more rape or sexual assault, making women feel more like people and less like sexual objects. This would in turn lead to a world where women could go out and have fun, dressing as they please without a fear in the world.
Feminism would also eliminate gender roles. With this, men would feel less pressure to act tough and manly and would be able to enjoy more feminine things without being called names or being made fun of. Women would also not feel limited to just feminine things and would be able to do things like cut their hair short or get a job that's physically demanding without people judging them.
The advantages to feminism are obvious. The question is, will men be able to sacrifice some of the power they have in society in order to make everyone feel equal? Feminism is working on this issue of making everyone equal, and for this reason, you should support it. Supporting feminism would help get rid of some of the problems that are currently holding society back, like gender equality and sexual harassment. To quote Deborah Lee, 2013, "Because women have failed to achieve full parity with men legally, socially, and economically, feminism remains relevant in the 21st